Ground Game LA is killing local journalism.
We are the journalists of Knock LA, and we're asking for your help.
In 2017, members of Ground Game LA created a Medium blog called Knock LA.
And in 2021, Knock LA leadership relaunched the blog as an independent newsroom with the publication of Cerise Castle's groundbreaking series on deputy gangs, a tradition of violence.
Knock LA has provided crucial reporting on issues facing the greater LA region, such as police corruption, investigation into abuses of power at City Hall, and the ongoing homelessness crisis for the last 3 years.
Ground Game LA and people organized for Westside Renewal have operated as fiscal sponsors of the newsroom, allowing Knock LA to run as a nonprofit. At the same time, Knock LA explored options for creating its own standalone nonprofit.
At 8:30 p.m. on April 10th, 2024, Cerise Castle, Ben Camacho, and Katja Schatte were removed from the Slack by Ground Game LA. They also deleted any accounts they individually had on the Knock LA workspace. At least one of these accounts was being used for business outside of Knock LA and has put that employment at risk, which is especially important right now because a lot of our contributors and administrators have no idea where their next paycheck is coming from now. Due to the lockout, Knock LA has no way to contact organizations who have scheduled trainings and workshops to develop the newsroom's journalism skills, programs that we've rigorously applied for to invest in the future of the newsroom. Ground Game LA has also removed our access to social media accounts and administrative emails. I'm the social media editor. Obviously, I now cannot do my job. And we've also been completely locked out of our website, so it's impossible for us to publish new articles, to access articles we've written in the past, and to move forward with stories that have already been scheduled to go. Ground Game has since solicited our past freelancers to scab and write on the website while admins and regular contributors are locked out, putting them in a really awkward position even for the ask. It's very inappropriate.
Ground Game LA has continued to disrespect Knock LA journalists and violate the newsroom's editorial independence.
Ground Game LA members have repeatedly demanded free labor from our reporters, editors, and photographers. When free labor is demanded, the only people able to do it are the ones with privilege. As an outlet that prioritizes uplifting marginalized voices, that runs counter our goals. Ground Game LA has issued checks to Knock LA freelancers that have bounced. Ground Game LA has not paid several Knock LA freelancers for months, even years. Currently, none of our admin or reporters have been paid for their work in April. Journalism is real work and deserves real pay.
Ground Game LA members have repeatedly disregarded and disrespected labor done by Knock LA members of color. Like the time a Ground Game LA member told me she stopped donating to Knock LA when I became an administrator.
Members of Ground Game LA have demanded articles furthering their political agenda be published by Knock LA, despite the editorial firewall we've established between the organizations. For example, they wanted us to only cover candidates that they endorsed in the most recent Los Angeles election and no one else.
For the past year, I've been the subject of an unjust lawsuit at the hands of City Attorney Heidi Feltzing-Soto around public records disclosure. This has the potential to change the free flow of information in the United States. Feltzing-Soto recently filed a second lawsuit against me that would make me one of two parties responsible for indemnification of police officers should the city lose its case against LAPD officers. Ground Game LA has offered little to no public support of me throughout this entire ordeal. As a political organizing group, now would be the time for Ground Game LA to organize effectively around freedom of the press. Ground Game LA has remained silent and even endorsed a candidate for state senate that has sought to cripple press freedom.
Knock LA's main aim has always been to focus on local stories and elevate voices that often go unheard in mainstream media. Due to Knock LA's connection with Ground Game LA, a political organizing group, Knock LA cannot apply for important newsroom funding. Knock LA has exhausted all means of amicable separation despite consistent gaslighting, harm, and stifling of our work.
We, the contributors, freelancers, and leadership of Knock LA, are now going public as a last resort to have full control over our newsroom. Please stand with us and demand that Ground Game LA return what is ours. You can post about it and sign our open letter to Ground Game LA and Power Leadership.
Ground Game LA, hands off our work. Apologize to Knock LA, give us back our stuff, and cease the stifling of LA journalism. Free Knock LA.
Free Knock LA.